Well, the leading story this morning is, of course, still the ousting of Dr. Mpho Phalatse as mayor of the City of Johannesburg, with Dada Morero replacing her. Now, 2 weeks ago, Phalatse told Soweto residents that engagements over the township's Eskom debt were ongoing. This was, of course, after residents had embarked on a service delivery protest. Joining me now to respond to the change in the executive leadership of the City of Johannesburg is Leader of Soweto Parliament, Nhlanhla Lux. Nhlanhla, thank you so much for joining us in our studios this morning. As I mentioned, this is a fast-moving development, but very quickly, your reaction to the change of leadership in the city.
Commander's morning. So I think that we as Soweto Parliament and the residents of City of Johannesburg welcome the change. From the changing of the speaker. The new speaker is welcomed. It's someone that is accessible to the people of Soweto, of Alexandra. She's accessible to the people of the City of Johannesburg. Let's go to the new mayor. The new mayor is someone who's equally accessible. The new mayor is someone, Dada, you will find Dada speaking at a COSAS program where there's students and there's no cameras. And when I go to the school, how Dada, you are also here. He's someone that understands the people on the ground. He's someone who is not obsessed with the fluffy things of the city, but understands the people on the ground. So I am not overselling him. I am sharing my experience as Soweto Parliament President of Dada. So I am now hoping that with the new title that he carries, he does not forget the people. Because it's not because of the politicians that you see the change in the City of Johannesburg. It is because of the power of the people, not the politicians. The people spoke, the people said, the people shall govern, and if the media and everybody is fair, they will remember where this vehicle started taking motion of changing the leadership in the City of Johannesburg. It started in Soweto. It started with the biggest march from out of Soweto to the City of Johannesburg mayor's office in the history of this country.
Well, some people may beg to differ. Yeah. The ANC lost its majority in the City of Johannesburg in last year's local government elections, and a multi-party coalition government emerged out of those polls. So if we are to speak of the people's will, the will of the voters, it wasn't to have an ANC-led government in the City of Johannesburg. And now we have the ANC chairperson in the City of Johannesburg preparing to be sworn in as council leader. So do you still stand by your statement that this is the will of residents?
Commander, through and through, I am telling you now that the change in the City of Johannesburg came as a result of the people expressing their discomfort and not appreciating and not actually refusing to normalize the nonsense that was happening in the City of Johannesburg. You can't have a mayor that first week of her being a mayor, she stands up and says the people in Soweto are criminals, they don't pay electricity, the bridge electricity. You can't have that. And the first time, in the first month, you saw Deep Roof burning. You saw N1 closing because of her statements. Nothing else.
All right.
In her first month, she was a spokesperson of Eskom, not the mayor of the people. And we tried to convert her. We gave her a lifeline in Soweto. We said, come, let's work together. She's not accessible.
All right,
never.
Let's talk about that. The representations that Soweto residents made to the former mayor. In June, you, of course, marched to the offices of the mayor, handed over a memorandum of demands, and she was then given 14 days to review that list and to revert back to you. Let's talk about that response. How responsive was the former mayor then? And do you feel as though the grievances that were raised were adequately addressed?
They weren't. Number one, the 14 days didn't happen. When the 14 days came, she was overseas. She knew that she would never be there, number one. And what happened? She then postponed. What happened after the postponement? She said she is fatigued. She needs bed rest. Bed rest, you know what's bed rest? Bed rest is I must go relax on the bed while people's problems continue. You can't postpone the people's problems. You must solve them. You are leadership. You must solve them. So there was another problem. And the attitude was the biggest thing. You know, if I can't do something, you can sense it in my spirit that I wanted to do it. It's a matter of me not being able to do it. Not an arrogant video. Go back. History will judge it. The videos are on YouTube. They're online now. She takes out a video, sitting comfortably. But Soweto, Eskom, I'm not even. It's not even within my jurisdiction. How do you get into Eskom? You're the number one citizen of this of the city of Johannesburg. You need to say what Gogo can't say or doesn't have the amplified voice to say. I will be the amplifier and speak on behalf of Gogo, not speak on behalf of Eskom, suppressing Gogo. There's a fundamental difference.
True enough. Indeed, you can't postpone the problems of the people, of the residents. And as number one citizen of the city, it was her due responsibility to respond to that. We have the ANC in Johannesburg obviously obtaining a victory yesterday with the turn of events that we saw. But does that translate to a victory for residents?
Yes.
Truly?
Yeah. So we're not too concerned, and we don't dance to political music. Whether it's ANC, DA, doesn't matter. We want people that are deliberate, intentional in leading the people of Johannesburg. Like I said when I started this interview, the people's power is the reason why there's change in the city of Johannesburg. It's not political power. And even if you want to take it to political power, those councillors that sit there come from our communities. They represent the people. So even if you want to take it to that point, you understand that the people continue to have and display power, whether through citizenry or through the councillors. Now, what is happening in the city of Johannesburg as we speak? I'm actually rushing there after this interview to see the new mayor being sworn in. Because the new mayor is going to be held accountable. It doesn't matter the new mayor is going to be held accountable, and the new mayor is going to do right by the people, for the people. The new mayor is going to work with the people, not work just for the people. Because this government, the new way of going forward in government and any leadership is inclusive leadership. You don't work for people, you work with people.
Well, the disintegration of the city of Johannesburg has been a long-standing issue. And at the start of this morning's program, we actually went through the fact that the city of Johannesburg has had 5 mayors in the last 2 years.
Sure.
4 out of that 5 being ANC appointed leaders in the city. Do you still stand by your subject? Well, your assertion that it has nothing to do with politics and that the newly instated ANC-led leader can indeed effect change, given the fact that his predecessors were perhaps unable to do just that?
Okay. I think we must be careful. The people that are listening at home are vulnerable. They're not privy to proper information. So let's give them the background. The mayors you're speaking about, 2 of them passed away. Did they finish their term? The answer is no. So why are we trying to make it as if they failed? How can you have failed at a duty if you passed away? So that 5, reduce it to what? -2 now, that's 3.
All right.
So the other ones, how do I die today because of my father's sins? My father, biological father, was a gangster. Now, am I a thug? He had criminal records. Am I a thug? How about you leave this person to do his job, and if he does a bad job, we all hold him accountable, we all get rid of him. If he does a good job, we all embrace him. Let's not play politics.
All right, very quickly, Dada Morero is about to be sworn in as the new mayor of the city of Johannesburg. You have commended him for being a politician, a man of the people, a man who listens to the concerns of individuals on the ground. He's promised to stabilize the city's finances and essentially turn around the financial mismanagement that has been taking place in the city. From your perspective, is that where he should be starting, or are there other areas that he should rather be focusing his attention on?
So I don't know his plans, but if we were to align our people's plans, because our plans in Soweto Parliament are informed by the people, right? So, and the city's financial stability is part and parcel of our plans. That's why we had proposed to the mayor that we're going to do what the country couldn't do, Eskom and the city, since 1994. We are going to help the city collect revenue from the people of Soweto. And that proposal landed on deaf ears. We are hoping that with his invested interest in making sure that the city's financial well-being is in order, he will come to the people and say that how do we collect, how do we pay for electricity together, what models can we put in place, not enforce things on people and fail again as people who came before him. So when he speaks finances, I'm happy, because finances is what will unlock the doors for our people. Because if you don't understand the finances of the city, you don't understand that this gogo can't, this gogo can. Then if you understand those type of dynamics, the city will go forward. If we don't understand those dynamics, we're going to fight with our people. The previous mayor, Dr. Mpho Phalatse, thought with a financial model that she'll just go in and make everyone pay. Even if I wanted to pay, I can't pay 6,000 ya Eskom. It's pretty impossible. So we are hoping that Dada will listen to us and he will take the models that we already have, the infrastructure that we already put together, the financial infrastructure on the ground that collects money and data for the city so that the city can go forward.
All right, well, Nhlanhla Lux, thank you so much for
coming
into our studios and joining us this morning. That's a Soweto Parliament's Nhlanhla Lux joining us there to give us further reaction to the ousting of former Johannesburg Mayor Dr. Mpho Phalatse.